Welcome back, respected ones. In this video, I will be giving you an introduction to schools of philosophy. What do you mean by schools of philosophy? Before talking about schools of philosophy, first of all, we have to know about philosophy. What do you mean by philosophy? What are the different branches of philosophy? And what are the educational aspects of philosophy? Though I have discussed these things in some other videos, just for reminding you or just for creating a background for telling about schools of philosophy, again I would talk about philosophy. In simple words, you can define philosophy as a view of life or vision of life. A view of life and related aspects, or vision of life and related aspects. In this regard, it is told that each and every person has got his own philosophy of life. Then I may ask you a question. Can you call each and every person a philosopher? I have got some vision of life. And do you call me a philosopher? Never. We call some people philosophers. Why? Before telling why, or before telling the answer for this question, I may give you an example, or I may ask you another question. Haven't you written at least one poem or one story in your life? I hope that your answer will be yes. Yes. Each one of us might have written at least one piece of poem or one piece of story in our life. Then, are we called authors or writers? Never. But we call some people writers. So we call some people writers or authors because they have written something in a creative manner. Then another question arises there. What is this creative manner? Or what is creativity? What is creative thinking? Creative thinking is divergent thinking. Then creativity is doing something in a divergent manner. That means doing something in a novel manner, which has never been used by any other person, in a different manner, in an exclusive manner. So we call some people writers when they write by using a novel style of writing, by using some exclusive metaphors, by using some different or divergent arrangement of words and sentences. We are not calling a person writer just because he has written on some topic. The topic may be similar, but we call a person writer when he writes something in a different manner, in a divergent manner, and this is creativity. So we call some people writers when they write something in a different style. Then what is philosophy? We have told that this vision of life or view of life. But we never call, and we have told that each and every person has got his own philosophy or her own philosophy of life and related aspects. But we never call all the people philosophers. We call some people philosophers when they put forth some different perspective on life, or different views on life, or different vision on life. Then I may invite your attention to the etymological origin of the word philosophy. Philosophy is a word which is derived from two Latin words, philo and sophia. Philo means love and sophia means wisdom. So philosophy is love of wisdom. Again we can come back. Some people put forth some divergent view or vision of life after having some reflective thoughts on life and related aspects by using their wisdom. So philosophy is some reflective thoughts or vision of life put forth by some great people, some wise people, with the help of their knowledge and wisdom. And philosophy has got three different branches. They are metaphysics, epistemology and axiology. Metaphysics is the ideology put forth by a particular philosopher or a school of philosophy on life. Or metaphysics is the branch of philosophy which explains the ultimate truth in human life. It answers the questions such as what is life, what is the ultimate truth in life, what is the reality in life, whether the material aspect or whether the spiritual aspect, whether something else. What is the ultimate aim of human life, whether the material pleasure or whether spiritual satisfaction, or whether something after this life. Metaphysics answers such questions. So metaphysics is the core ideology of a particular philosopher or a particular philosophy, a particular school of philosophy. The second branch, epistemology, is the branch of philosophy which deals with knowledge, which explains different aspects of knowledge. It answers the questions such as what true knowledge is, what are the different ways of knowing, what should be the nature of knowledge, or who should get knowledge, when should get knowledge, how should get knowledge, what should be the different methods for getting knowledge, what should be the status of the teacher, what should be the nature of interaction between the teachers and the students. All such aspects are dealt by the second branch of philosophy called epistemology. So epistemology is the branch of philosophy which deals with knowledge and related aspects by answering the questions such as what knowledge is, or how knowledge should be acquired, etc. And the third branch, axiology, is the branch of philosophy which deals with values. It answers the questions such as whether there should be values, what should be the nature of values, how should values be cultivated, whether values are absolute or not, whether values can be changed on the basis of the change in the situations. All such questions are answered by the third branch of philosophy called axiology. So now you have got an idea about philosophy. Then what do you mean by different schools of philosophy? See, different people have got different views of life. There have been lots of philosophers. Each philosopher has put forth different view of life and related aspects. And if you try to look at different philosophers, you will see that some of them keep some common elements in their vision of life. Some others keep some common elements in their view of life and related aspects. Some other people show some common elements in their view or vision of life and related aspects. So you can group them and you can categorize them into a particular school of philosophy. So schools of philosophy are different groups of people who show some common elements or some basic elements or some core elements in their views on life and related aspects. Though they will or they would introduce something exclusive on the basis of their own life experiences and circumstances, but they would never cross the basic elements which some others have put forth. As a result, there are different schools of philosophy such as idealism, naturalism, pragmatism, humanism, existentialism and futurism. There are different philosophies. Marxism is there and something else is there. But I only want to tell about the schools of philosophy which are considered significant in the case of education. So all these schools of philosophies are there. And as we told earlier, all these schools of philosophy have got their own metaphysics, their own epistemology and their own axiology. Idealism considers something as the ultimate aim of life. Naturalism considers something else. Pragmatism considers something else. And some other schools of philosophy consider something else as the ultimate reality in life. And this concept of each school of philosophy is its own metaphysics. And each school of philosophy has got its own epistemology. That is concept of knowledge and concept of education. In idealism, you can see different aims of education, and the aims of education in naturalism will be something else. and the aims of education in humanism will be something else. So each philosophy has got different epistemology. And similarly, each school of philosophy has got different axiology. Idealism sees something as the values. Naturalism sees something else as the values. Idealism may be believing in some spiritual values, and naturalism may be believing in something else. Sometimes they may be believing that there is no need for any predetermined values. So each school of philosophy has got its own metaphysics, its own epistemology, its own axiology. And we will be giving more concentration on epistemologies of each philosophy, because we are taking all these school of philosophy into consideration just for getting some ideas on what are the different aspects related to education put forth by all these schools of philosophy. So we will be looking at the epistemologies of these different schools of philosophy as a part of this course, perspectives on education or perspectives on knowledge and knowing. Thank you very much.